LP on the scene, what it be, yo? In the club, stay fly like an ego. Stay fresh to death, to beat the steez, yo. Do it for the love.
What up, what up, what up? This is Spinderella, and you are watching LP on the scene.
All the ladies in the place say ow, say ow. Oh, boys, make some noise. Let me hear you say ho, say ho.
Hey, it's your girl, the Network Queen, and you're watching LP on the Scene. And I have the legendary Grammy Award winner, DJ Spinderella. How are you, girl?
I'm awesome, honey. I'm very good.
You know, I've been so nervous interviewing you today.
Really? Why?
Well, because, I mean, I've interviewed people like Common, Tony Rock, Cedric the Entertainer, you know. But you, like, I grew up with Salt and Pepper. I grew up with Spinderella, dancing to the songs, knowing all the lyrics. So means a lot more. I mean, if you think about it, you know, 10 years ago, like, did I ever think I'd be sitting here with DJ Spinderella?
That's real sweet. But I'm a regular person, so you don't have to be nervous.
Good, cool. That's what's up. You know, I've always wanted to know, and I think people out there, because DJing is kind of trending. You got a lot of people coming out doing it, even other celebrities and singers and rappers. So how did you get started in the business?
Well, first of all, I came from a family of DJs. Like the earlier DJs, my dad was one who collected music, so I grew up with it. I was around it. My uncles, they were collectors of music, and they would pull their turntables out and put them outside their house and, you know, plug them up. So I kind of grew up around that. And how I got started was my high school boyfriend was one of the earlier DJs as well, and he showed me what I knew. Like he would show me the technique and stuff like that. But I had the music background. Didn't know I wanted to be a DJ, but I kind of I picked it up from being around it, and then the actual skill and technique came from my high school boyfriend.
Nice. Okay, so I mean, what did you think you were going to be when you were a kid? What did you want to be?
Well, I started out as a dancer, so I was dancing. I thought I was going to go to Fiorella LaGuardia or, you know, the Fame School, you know, in New York, but I would perform because I was in a group called the East New York Theatrical Workshop. So I started out performing before Salt and Pepper. I was already doing it from a kid, and so I kind of picked up the performance side doing that. And I didn't know what I was going to be, but I knew I would be somebody. Growing up in the projects, either you're going to do something or you're going to stay there, you know. And I felt like I needed to go and do what needed to be done. Did not seek out Salt and Pepper. I heard that there was an audition. I auditioned for them, but I didn't think I would get it. I was just playing around, like, okay, I'll audition, and I got it. And the rest was history.
Nice. Okay, so I did learn that there was another DJ that was part of Spinderella. I mean, the name was already, I guess, picked for that part. What would you have named yourself if you got to say so?
I don't know what I would have named myself. That was not a thought in my head. But the name was given to me by Herbie, our creator, producer. They had the original Spinderella. They call her the OG Spinderella. She's the one on the first album cover. I'm the one that you see from Push It On. And they just basically handed me the name. I don't know what happened there. I wasn't even born then. But once I came into it, I was dubbed Spinderella, and I lived up to it to this day.
Yeah, okay, so I heard there was another Spinderella before the Spinderella that was part of Salt and Pepper, I guess, part of the disco days or something?
I've heard those things too, but I wouldn't know. I did ask Herbie, where did he get that from? He said it was a superhero. There was like a character named Spinderella, and this was way back when. So, you know, there's been stories of that name floating around way before the origins of Salt and Pepper. But at this point, you know, who's living up to the name? I'd have to say myself.
You're the legend. I've always wanted to be a DJ myself. Growing up in California, like I hung out with a lot of Asians, and they were really into the DJing, and so I've always thought about, okay, what would I name myself? And I came up with DJ Asiatic Black.
Really?
Because I'm half black, half Asian, so I thought DJ Asiatic Black.
That's cute. A name is very important, though. I always say, like, for those aspiring DJs out there, create something that is going to stick with. Now, you might think it's fun just to come up with something now, but this is something that's going to stick with someone for, think about it, decades.
Exactly.
Decades. And, a name, has value.
Right.
So
what do you think about DJ Mustard, that name?
Oh, there's names out there that I am just thrown. I'm blown away by.
Like what? Not DJ Mustard?
DJ Sour Milk. These are major names. These are major DJs too. The names that I've heard, just interesting. But I have to say, my name is probably the best DJ name on the planet.
I love it.
I love my name, and one of the like Ellen, Ellen DeGeneres, I guest DJ'd for her. She was like, you have the best name in the industry. I said, yes, I do. So yeah.
Cool, that worked out. I always thought, Salt and Pepper, because I saw the interview when you guys were on Arsenio back in the, when you guys started out, and he made a joke about you. He was like, Salt and Pepper, so are you paprika?
I get that all the time.
I thought.
Are you this, are you that?
You know what, I came up with Spinamin.
That's actually cute.
I'm so corny.
That too. You didn't come up with that first. I came up with that too. But you know what? It kind of took on its own life, because that was a major question. Which one are you? When you say Salt and Pepper, Salt and Pepper is the group. People would say, which one are you? And I would just say, I'm Spinderella. That's more than enough for me.
Well, you did a lot in the group. Not only were you DJing, you were rapping and dancing along with them. The girls did the rapping and dancing, but you had the DJing part too.
I did a lot. With the group. And interestingly enough, we had everyone had their zone, their corner to do. So I held mines down, but like I said, I started out dancing, so I knew that side. The rapping thing came because Herbie wanted to bring me out front a little bit more, and just started developing that skill, the rapping thing, So
talking about like the DJs nowadays and the music that's being played, how do you feel about the music today?
It's the music of the youth. Hip hop has kind of branched off into different areas, and we kind of have to realize that. Like, we hold that old school down, but just like with any music, it's grown up. Hip hop has grown up, and it's grown into different areas, and we need to respect that. But I must say, there is some music out there that I'm just not a fan of. But it's still to be held down as a portion of hip hop, and it's been birthed through hip hop. But I know, what we used to do was it was about a feeling. When it was about lyrical content. It was about messages. It was about, and so I do believe that some of the music today lacked that, and people are jumping on bandwagons trying to get paid as opposed to preserve the integrity of hip hop itself. I'll say that.
Thank you. Because when I listen to the lyrics of your songs, you guys have a message. Let's talk about sex. What a man. Talking about there's good men out there. I just recently interviewed Mike J. He's a new artist, signed to Virgin, and he kind of reminds me of Chris Brown. He's got a song called Real Strippers. Oh, okay. And it just, to me, it's like real strippers.
Okay.
So it's, to me, they kind of like follow the trend. Like you said, it's about the money, but I miss like the feel good music that makes you want to dance and not,
I guess when you hit people upside the head with messages and consciousness all the time, sometimes they want relief. But, hip-hop back then, we had so many kinds of groups. We had the fun groups. We had the message-oriented groups. We had the sexy females like ourselves. We had the hardcore, rappers. There was a whole gamut of it. And today, people know that the formula is sex sells, talking about what you got sells. But really, if you want to maintain, like, longevity in the industry, you want to be able to be, connect with people on a different level, not just that surface level.
Because I feel like music is so influential, and it could just almost kind of brainwash the public. You know, the music, especially like the chanting rap and all that good stuff.
Yeah, music is very influential. But you know, artists don't come into the industry trying to be influential. They want to come in, they want to make some bread, they want to make a statement with who they are. And sometimes you got to understand, maybe they haven't grown up yet. Maybe they haven't grown into that space yet. So Salt and Pepper didn't start out with messages. We were having fun. We were shaking our thing. We were pushing it too. So, you know, it's a process. But artists get that eventually, that you're going to be put into a position that people are like, okay, so what else are you giving me? You know, and so that pressure's there to come up a little bit. And so that's what I see with artists today. They do become, you know, artists that have to make, you know, eventually. Yeah.
You know, I don't know, like Pharrell, I think he's doing pretty well with that Happy song. I mean, it's kind of different from the, you know, pull your panty to the side.
And this for a long time. He has. So, you know, I watched his interview with Oprah, and he talked he talked about how this just came out of nowhere, but it kind of was right on time, because things are so grim and so dark, you know, that how about just being happy? You know, that when you hear a song like that, doesn't it move you to be happy? Yeah. So that's how much influence a song would have.
Right.
Now, if you put a song like, you know, Hell. If you put a song out called Hell, imagine the influence the impact that would have. Yeah.
That's why I expect a lot more for us. I'm still around. I'm still listening to music, so I still want it to be good.
Yeah. But, you know, today in this era, we don't have to just go with radio. We don't just have to go with someone else's call. The thing about it is music is universal, and you can just go and grab what suits you.
Right.
You know.
Right. So, you know what? I wanted to talk about What a Man, because, you know, I just brought that up earlier. What do you feel like is a good man?
Just someone who's really into you, but into themselves, you know, to a degree, that knows who God is, that knows the way, how it was intended, like, you know, the family, God first, you know, the family, you know, just the lineup, how that's supposed to work, what's priority. A man that knows his priorities is very important to me. Ambition, someone who got it going on. Swag is really important. Someone that you're just connected with, attracted to, and just you can focus in on. There's a lot of distractions out there, but a good man is that person. But I would just say listen to What a Man, because that kind of...
Ooh, yes it is.
What a Man would be the song that would describe the man that I kind of appreciate.
Yes it is. So speaking of good men, I want to shout out to the good men out there. Do you have a good man in your life?
I got somebody. For a long time, I was just kind of disconnected because I was putting
That's a long time.
A long time, years. We're talking years.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, you know, you don't want to be desperate and just have anybody. I'm the choosy type. I'm someone who I would be alone before I choose something that's not right for me.
I know that's right. And as far as, you know, having that man in your life and in the business that you're in, I follow you on Instagram and Twitter, and you have so many male followers, and they're always talking about you were my biggest crush growing up. So I know when you're out in public, you're around a lot of men. How do you deal being in a relationship and dealing with that? How does he deal with that?
Well, he has to have a lot of confidence, number one. If he's got issues with jealousy and stuff like that, you got a problem. So confidence is very important. But, you know, put that person first. If that person is in your life, you put them first, and there should never be a question. I always say focus, because once you lose that focus
on what?
On that person. Real simple. If you focus on that person, everything else falls into place. So
right. Okay. And you know, I see that you are like a video blogger for Unsung TV1. You did, well, they covered 3 of my favorites, Lisa Nicole Jam, Mint Condition, and Heavy D. So what are your relationships with, I mean, I know you had a relationship with Heavy D because you toured with him.
I get that twisted. Not a relationship in that sense, but more like a brother-sister relationship. We were connected because Salt and Pepper and Heavy D went out in the beginning of our careers. Like, we were paired up, so we shared a bus. They saw us in our worst. We saw them at their worst. So we, like it was like a brother-sister thing with us. But I'm a lover of music, so I can respect the artists. I don't care from whatever you've been, but we can all learn from artists back then. So when they called me to do it, I was like, oh yes, And what I do is I'm online, so I'm like the person that kind of spearheads the online chat. Like we'll talk about it, we'll tweet about it, we'll Facebook, but talk about the episode, and we'll just keep it going on. So we got a big community, an unsung community right now.
I know, I've always wanted to be Lisa Nicole Jam. Like for Halloween, that pink outfit that she had on, I said, I'm going to do that for Halloween.
And when you're watching Unsung, like tune into my pages or whatever when it airs on Wednesday nights, and, just join the conversation.
Cool, okay. So who do you want them to do a story on that they haven't done one on?
That's too much of a general question. There's so many artists out there that have a story. Everybody has a story.
But who do you think has that really juicy, interesting mystery story?
Gosh, you're putting me on the spot because I'm sure it's a lot. I get this question a lot, like, can we get this one on? Artists like this, artists like that. I get the artists directly hitting me too, asking, do I have pull? I don't have any pull to get artists on.
Yes, you do.
I don't. I really don't. I have a relationship with TV One.
I think if you said something.
Yeah, but I don't think I have any pull. But I do know the producers and stuff like that. But I don't have the pull. I just support. But I'm there to learn, just like anybody else. So who they bring to the table. They've tried to get Salt and Pepper, so who knows.
Oh, I would love that. We're waiting on that.
We'll see.
Yeah. So you know what? But speaking of like female DJs making it, and after you, who's going to be next? And I know you have a daughter. So is she thinking about following in the footsteps?
I'm grooming her to DJ, but she's graduating college next month.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
You did good, Mom.
My best accomplishment is that. Very proud of her. But yeah, I taught her how to DJ. She has a residency at her school, but she's about to leave, so I'll be preparing her for out there. Of course, I'm going to be momager or whatever.
Graduating from college, that is beautiful. What was she studying?
Journalism, communications. And she does video editing, and she writes stories. Writes the scripts.
Nice, pretty relevant. Okay. Does Salt and Pepper ever plan on getting back together, doing any shows, tours?
Yeah, we got some things in the works. I would just say it's going to be a surprise. I can't say anything more about it, but we've been putting some things in order, and hopefully we'll be back out there soon.
Okay, so real quick, just 3 random questions, not really related to what you do. What do you think, what imperfections do your closest family and friends point out about you?
That I'm too good of a cook.
You fattening everybody up? Now you have to feed me now.
Cook. Yeah.
How'd you learn how to cook?
It was one of those things. I kind of picked it up. I didn't know I was such a great cook, but I kind of, I think when I lost both my parents a couple of years ago, and I just threw myself into that, just doing something different. And it kind of helped me. It was like therapeutic for me. So, and then coupled with the ADA, just trying to learn, recipes from a more healthier, perspective. But yeah, that keeps a lot of my time besides the DJing.
I gotta have some now that you're talking about it.
And I don't, negative. I got things, but I ain't gonna say. It's like,
Okay, so second question: what 3 albums would you take with you if you were to be trapped on a deserted island? What 3 albums?
At this point, classic albums: The Key of Life, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Here My Dear. I like old school stuff, so I don't know. Let me see what else. I got a bunch. I like more. I like Tina Marie. I like.
It's hard, I know.
Hard. That's really a tough question. From hip hop standpoint, I like Nas, I like Jay-Z, Biggie. I mean, I got
Old school. Name. Okay, you got to pick one from this era. If you were to pick one from
era.
yeah.
Well, what I'm listening to right now, besides, I just started listening to the Pharrell album. But I love Jay-Z, so I'm a big Jay-Z fan. His album is dope. The Magna Carta Holy Grail album, dope.
Yeah, he called that Miley twerking, and he called that.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's what I work out to. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like really what I listen to. I can't put myself in just one area because I kind of like different kinds of music and all kinds of music. So
I know it's kind of hard.
Genres of music.
Mine would be like best of Janet Jackson. I would do Bob Marley, and for some reason I gotta have some Snoop Dogg. It's the voice, and
yes.
I'm from Cali, so
okay.
Yeah, okay. So, do you have any pets? Are you?
I do.
Okay.
I have a dog, Beanie.
Aww.
He's a little boy in a dog body. Yeah.
That's your son?
Yeah, it's my son. He's a boy in a dog body. He just can't say it, but I know exactly what he wants. I know exactly. Yeah.
He's cute. He's cute. I've seen him on your Instagram.
Oh, such a cutie.
Okay, favorite Salt and Pepper song? One that you play and everybody just gets out there and just...
Everybody Get Up. Everybody Get Up. It just has this hard beat. Salt and Pepper's dropping it on there. I like the early Salt and Pepper stuff, like the gritty, like the first album. The one that I'm not really on was one of my favorites because I was a fan of Salt and Pepper before I joined them. But I like that roughness, that they sounded like they were new, but they just had this rough edge to them.
One song that I don't hear a lot of people talk about that I love because it's so relevant. If I want to take a guy home with me tonight, it's none of your business. Yes. Don't you just want to tell people that? Everybody but me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we won the Grammy for that one. So
what?
Yeah,
that's what's up. Well, Spinderella, it was such a pleasure. Thank you for making one of my dreams come true. This was fun.
I'm glad I can help with that.
All right, thank you.
Bad, right?
No, it wasn't. All right.
You must hate, so listen to what I say. Don't take this as a simple rhyme. Now, who would you be if a stranger said?
The love plus the people. LP on the scene, what it be, yo. In the club, stay fly like an ego. We be VIP wherever we go. Do it for the love plus the people.